Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
We're good.
Good morning, everyone. Go ahead and get yourself situated. I'm still kind of acclimating. If you guys are like, Belinda, why do you have a hat on? You got a hat on because it's cold. There you go. Winter has decided that it's going to stay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Belinda, the B of Just Be Yoga, here with Home Yoga Practice Live this morning on Earth Day, Wednesday, April 22, Earth Day, in celebration of this wonderful blue rock that we live on, this vibrant being that we exist with and coexist with, and we hailed from and will return to. Yeah, I feel that and love that. So I really appreciate our practice yesterday, and I think I'd like to just continue along that vein of helping folks maybe explore a little bit deeper about what is this yoga that I'm doing and how do I do it at home? Why do I do it at home? So please check out yesterday's webcast and just keep following along. Yesterday we talked about how to pick a teacher, and then about the benefit of having a formatted practice before you break outside of the lines, right? Color outside of the lines. Because when we come onto our mat at home, or you come into your meditation at home, not a guided meditation that you listen to recorded, when you don't have someone telling you what to do, suddenly many of us can feel disconnected, a little confused, a little out of sorts. So I talked about different tools to use to get into your practice, some books that I recommended. Today, I'm going to break down a little bit, and then we're going to move because I really feel the need to move because it's cold. So I'm going to get up and hope that everyone, can see what I've written here. Yay! All right, so yoga is a system of 8 things, or 8 limbs or branches in the whole tree of yoga, all right? So on this side are the first 4, on this side are the next 4, the yamas and the niyamas. I like to say that if Moses came down the mount with 2 tablets broken in half, 5 would be a list of do nots, but then a list of do's on the other side. That's nice. I really like the thought of here's some things to do, not just rolling up a newspaper and whapping me on the nose for the things I shouldn't do. So the do nots and the do's, the yamas and the niyamas. And then asana, that's something that we should all be a little bit familiar with. That's the only part that a lot of people really understand about yoga. And that's the movement, the postures, the poses, how we move in our body, finding the fullest range of what's possible and healthy and balanced in our bodies. And then breath, same deal. What is our capacity and what's the balance for the greatest vibrant living and being inside of our breath? Now we get over to some areas that are less known but super duper vital if you're going to do the whole yoga connection thing. All right, so this is pratyahara, sense withdrawal. I like to actually been exploring in my own personal practice sense awareness and how my senses help me connect to what is truly going on and what isn't, or sense amplification. Sense amplification. Lots of words. Okay. Dharana, focus. How to focus. Focus. I'm gonna get back to it. Focus. All right, and then meditation. We're gonna come back here for a second and talk about the distinction between these two. And then samadhi, unification or bliss through that complete union of all of this. And so then all we do is just recycle and retill the soil. All right. So now dharana and dhyana, focus and meditation. I'm going to set this down a little heavier than I thought it would be. So single-minded focus and meditation. A lot of people are really into meditation apps nowadays. Everybody's like, oh, I meditate, I play this thing and I listen to it. I really don't call that meditating. I call that listening to an app. But actually, that is more in line of starting to be an entry point for Dharma or single-minded focus. Because when we're listening to someone guiding us, that is making us focus on their voice and focus on where they're taking us. And there is great merit in that. There is great benefit in that. So focus has to start before we get to meditation. It's because consider your mind like a snow globe, and it's all the flakes of snow just going all over the place, all over the place. And that's how we live. We're like, oh my God, my head, I'm so crazy up in my head, and everything is just bouncing around, and it's just, I can't be still because I can't think about one thing because it's all over the place. So then we train our mind to try to just look at one flake. So dye one flake the color burgundy, and you're following that flake, and all the rest are around, and you're like, all I'm doing is I'm just going to be on that one flake. All right. So that's when I like to kind of think, like when I've trained Karma to kind of pay attention to me. I've got one treat, and she's like, boop, treat, I'm on it. I better not say that really loud. She's going to come. So then we train our mind to just be contented on that one thing. And in the midst of that focus, we notice, oh, I got a little stir. Thinking about that. Oh, I want to think about the laundry. Oh, I'm starting to think about that bill. And we get confronted with the busyness that's around us, but then we just laser light. Candlelight meditations. Meditations where we're being guided. Meditations when we go on a walk. Something that trains our mind on one thing. All right. Now, meditation though. Meditation, I like to say it lets me be present with all of the snowflakes in complete non-distracted bliss. What? That's so hard, right? Where you're just going to sit in the midst of the bill, the thought about the bills, and you're not reactive to it. And the thought about your car that got in an accident, and you're not reactive to it. And if you are feeling sick or sick to your stomach, and you're not reactive to it, being able to be in a meditation, completely present, not trying, but being present with it all in a non-distracted way. Focus is saying I'm going to focus on one thing in a non-distracted way. Meditation, we graduate to, and we go, now I'm going to try just trying to be present and aware of all of it and not be distracted and go down the rabbit hole of any of it. And that's hard, right? Because our thoughts start to come by and we're like, oh, squirrel, ooh, squirrel. You know, whether it's a pleasant thought or an unpleasant thought, right? Because I can be talking to you now and coming up with those examples about the car crash and the bills that I got to pay. And then in the back of my mind just goes ice cream. And I'm like, whoa. And my mind went to ice cream. And it was like, I lost the meditative thread. And I got to bring myself back and be able to be present with, I feel my sit bones sitting, I feel the clothing around my skin, I feel my neck feeling a little bit stiff, a little bit hungry today, all of that. All right, so those are the 8 limbs. And at any point in time throughout the day, we should hopefully be applying ourselves toward practicing any of them and building our awareness and our honing of any of them, because it's a whole 8 system. If all we're doing is a twist, a chair pose, a boat pose, a warrior pose, or a shavasana, we're still only doing a little teeny piece of yoga, and we can't say that we're doing the yoga. All right. So good morning. I am ready now, giving a little bit of, so consider that your svadhyaya. Yesterday, we went through what are the aspects of the yamas and the niyamas. In the yamas, or the do-nots, non-harming, non-stealing, non-lying, restraint or abstinence, and non-hoarding. Boom. And then the purity of action, words, and intention, discipline or devotion, contentment, study, and surrender to something greater than ourselves. So all of that about the limbs, boom, we've hit it. We've hit a little bit of svadhyaya, a little bit of our niyama there. I am ready to spend some time now in my yoking, my coming together yoga, yoking, Y-O-K-I-N-G, bringing it all together and trying to spend some time in a coexistence of my awareness and my body and my senses and my thoughts and my focus and my meditation. Now, perhaps in this stillness, your mind is wondering, well, what's coming next? What's Belinda trying to show me right here? Stillness. We can't do the thing unless we do the thing. And once I arrive in the quietude and the stillness, I get to observe all of the busyness. The busyness in my muscles, my tendons, my physical body. In my breath, in my senses. In my thoughts and my focus. I finally started to feel my breath come into a nice relaxed state where my low abdomen has started to let go. I'm going to check in now with my spine and ask if I can have it sit up with a little bit more upward intention, but with ease. Feeling my groin and my knees, and they're feeling rather okay where they are. It'll probably take a while before anything starts to fall asleep. And if it does, I'll just switch. Balance and peace. That equilibrium is called sattva. And excessive or excitability, or the plus side of the charge, rajas. Apathetic, lethargic, or the negative side of the charge, tamas. So I'm checking in right now with what's feeling excessive, amped up, hyped up. Whether I can define it or describe it or not, I'm experiencing it. And what's dull? And that's going to guide me in how I want to apply myself in my practice. And I'm feeling as though I really have found a comfort zone in my efforting, in how much energy I actually exert or put into. Notice that I can be like, I did enough. Give me my cookie. I did it. That was enough. And compared to other, oh my God, compared to others, that's more than enough. I deserve a break. Blah 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 blah. Right? Coming up with all that crap. So I know myself that I have not explored the edges of my energy. And so today, I'm really feeling like that needs to be my practice, and I get to observe what comes up. All right. So with that, that means I'm going to move a bit today. Take a break. Pause. Remember that I am sharing my practice with you in hopes of being able to give you some tips and some guidance as to how you might want to start to employ some of these exercises or practices at home in your body on your mat. All right. So why don't we make our way, or I'm going to make my way to my child's pose and start to get ready for a bit of some movement. So as I start to move, I start to notice my intention. And I already slowed it down a little bit to bring some mindful intention because I kind of got in a rush. And that meant that I missed how I went from my butt. All I actually remember is being on hands and don't remember twisting, turning, and shifting my weight. And that's the level of awareness that I bring into my awareness on my mat. Like, okay, where am I? And if my mind is somewhere else, then I'm not here. Now, it's particularly challenging to do this with this whole camera thing and talking and teaching thing. So I really work on trying to be my genuine self. I'm going to sink my hips back, feel my flesh coming in contact with each other. I like to start to use things to recite to myself, and that helps me remember why I'm here, what I'm practicing. So for the purposes of today, it's going to be those 8 limbs for me to just remember. And so I just recite. I remind myself of what they are, the do's and the do-nots. I love to just say things in English rather than Sanskrit. It is my native tongue, so to speak. So using the language that actually means something to me with the greatest significance so that it sinks in. So I want to be non-harming. I want to be truthful. I want to not rob myself of opportunities to learn and grow. I want to practice restraint and non-hoarding. I want to be pure in my thoughts and actions. Apply my devotion. Apply my contentment. Study, not be judging. Study and surrender. Practicing in my body and my breath, my senses, my focus, my meditation, and connecting it all together. Breathing in as I come up to my hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog, breathe out. Pressing down and forward through the arms. Pressing down and back through the heels. I'm going to tilt up and down in my tailbone, just waking up my pelvis. Down dog is a great opportunity to wake up and expand in as much of the body as possible. My legs, my torso, my chest, my back, my thighs, my hamstrings, my neck, my head, my hands, my wrists, all of it. Breathing in, exploring length, feeling where it wants to go, feeling where it doesn't want to go in my body. Look forward. I'm going to take a great big step up, but some of you may want to put a knee down first and then step the leg up. Be mindful about where your body wants to go and how it wants to move. Step the other leg up. Breathe in, lifting up. I'm going to do a sun salute A. Breathing out, letting go. The sun salute can give us a home base. Breathe in, a nice template to work from. Exhale, forward fold. Once you have it memorized, you can just work it. Breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, stepping it back to plank. First time in, I'm going to use my knees, lowering down. Breathing in, lifting the chest gently. My first time here, I'm going to be kind to my back. Exhale, come to the knees, down dog. I'm going to check in on my balance now. Am I only aware of my hands and my arms? Can I ask my legs to play another role in it? The entirety of my body. Because I know this sequence of movements, I'm now just going to apply myself to work it repetitively, because I said I really wanted to work on effort, my energy, being able to build up a little fire. Breath in, looking forward, and traveling my feet up. I'm alternating my legs. Breath in, lift. Breath out, let go. What's really letting go? What's still holding on? Breathing in, coming up. Am I overexerting through my shoulders? Exhale, forward fold. The answer was yes there. Breathe in, lifting. Exhale, stepping to plank. I'm going to have an extended plank this time. Lowering through, feeling that control. Breath in, lifting the chest or lack of control. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Looking forward, traveling the feet up. Breathe in as I lengthen the chest forward. Breathe out as I release my upper body down. Checking in with my neck because that area didn't want to release. Breathe in, coming all the way up. Strong in my intending energy up through my chest. Exhale, forward fold, letting my upper body go. Half flat back, lengthening the torso. Hands down, stepping to plank, lowering through, elbows shaving, wanting to feel every part of that. Breath in, lifting my heart. Breath out, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. I'm going to start to convert now to sun salute B. Breath in, looking up. Breath out, stepping, walking, or jumping the feet up. Half flat back, breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Bending my knees, pulling the weight back into the heels as I sink my butt back. Lifting my chest. If my feet are together, my knees are together. If my feet are apart, my knees are apart. No chest and no shoulders. Forward fold, letting it go. Find the ease. It's always there. Half flat back, hands to the floor, stepping back, or I'm going to float through. Breathe in, lifting to my up dog or cobra. Now this time I'm in my up dog. Tops of the toes are down. A little bit more length in my chest. A little bit more work in my upper body as far as my strength. My body was ready to start to expand a little bit more. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Right leg lifts, breath in. Exhaling, I'm going to step the foot through. Some of us might need to grab that foot, help it up there. Back foot is flat. Maybe support yourself as you come up or ask your core and your spine to lift you up. Breath in. Wow, I'm looking at snow. Exhale, hands down. Step to plank, lower through. Breath in, lift the chest. What can I let go of here in my neck, my shoulders? What am I still lengthening and shining and offering in my heart? Exhale to downward facing dog. Big breath. Sigh it out. Check in with the sound of your breath right now. If it's getting ragged, if it's getting out of control, exasperated, take a rest, come down. You're no longer in the yoking. You're in the forcing. We're not in a balanced space. Remember that sattva and that raja and that tama. Sattva, we're looking for the balance. Left leg lifts, breath in. Feeling my head reaching down, feeling the energy go up through the heel, bringing my foot back foot flat, rising up, finding my warrior one on this side. I'm just going to work on this balance and stability of my legs first. Just saying good morning to my body, still early. Breath in, offering with dedication, reaching up to the heavens. Maybe let my mind rest on something spiritual for me. And for me, I like to look up and remember that I am a part of the cosmos. And I'm going to return to that stardust. And I'm connected upward and I'm reaching to what I don't know and I'll never understand. Hands coming down, stepping it back, lowering it through, breath in, lifting, offering, still with humility. Exhaling, downward facing dog, breath in, breath out. All right, I'm going to work on my fire. So you can find child's pose at any point in time. If you find yourself trying to keep up, know that automatically you're out of your practice, especially if your breath is getting exasperated and out, if your mind is starting to fuss and yell at you. But if you're with it and you're still going and you're feeling like you've got a little bit of balance, you're feeling your heat, but you're feeling your balance, let your mind reflect on what you're feeling. Let your mind reflect on your desires and your motivations, your intentions. Breath in, look up. Exhale, step, walk, or jump the feet up. Half flat back, forward fold. Chair pose, breath in. Breath out, let it go. Big breath in, lengthen. Exhale, hands down, step to plank, lower through breathing out. Breathe in. Up dog, make a choice, no cobra dogs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in, right leg lengthens. Exhale as you bring the foot through, back foot flat. Breath comes in as we rise. One big breath. Exhale, hands coming down, stepping the foot back, lowering it through. Breath in, lift, trust your strength, trust your root. Breath out, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, breath in. Exhaling the foot through, back foot flat. Breath comes in as we come all the way up. Exhaling, hands coming down, stepping to plank, lowering it through. Breath in, lift the chest. Breath out, downward facing dog. Looking forward, stepping, walking, or jumping the feet up. Half flat back breath in, forward full breath out. I'm going to come all the way up, reach. Hands to prayer. We're going to do this now without having to come through all of those push-ups. Breath in, lift the right leg. Step it back. Back foot flat. Breath in, let's lift. Exhale it forward. Bring the arms back. Inhale it up. Use your core. Let your heat build. Exhale it back. Breath in, let's lift. Breath out, take it back. Stepping the back leg up, chair. Bend the knees, sink the butt back, breath in. Exhale, come to standing. Left leg lifts, breath in. Stepping that foot back, sink down in the hips, breath in. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale it up. Exhale, sweep it back. Inhale it up. Exhale, hands come down. Step the back leg up. Chair pose, breath in. Come to standing. Reach behind your back. Find an interlace. Hold a strap. Open the heart. Hips forward. Chest up. Where's the breath? Expand. Soften and yield. This is not about applying yourself harder, faster, stronger. Pull your chin and chest forward. Can I apply myself just as equally to yielding as I do to doing? Let your arms go whenever you need. What's still fighting in your neck and your shoulders? How's the back of your legs? What are they saying to you? Are they asking you to do, and will you do it? Release those arms down, half flat. Breath in. I'm going to step both legs back, hum the hands and knees. I'm going to stack this left arm under my left shoulder. I'm going to reach this right leg back and spin that foot flat. I'm going to thrust my hips, turn my chest sideways, so that now my whole body is kind of like a slice of bread in the toaster. And maybe lift that right arm. Feel each wobble. Feel the pieces inside of you that are trying to hold on and give you ground. Now think to yourself, okay, what was I supposed to be practicing again? My do's and my do nots. Okay, am I being harmful my thought and my actions. Especially if the thought starts to go, is this crazy? Is she crazy? Or if the thought's negative inside of your own head, like, oh man, I used to be able to, or why can't I, or I never will. Ooh, get out of those loops and just look. Anything that we see, we look at with loving kindness and forgiveness. Bruh, maybe start to play with lifting this leg. Maybe not. Maybe it kind of comes down and up and down and up. That's what forgiveness can look like. That's what learning and growing can look like and feel like. Start to embody practicing falling, not practicing doing this perfectly. So, yep, I practiced falling 20 times today. Woohoo, what you do? Awesome. I'm going to bring that leg down and this arm down. So that my back isn't to you. I'm going to have this right hand down. I'm stacking it under the shoulder just so that I can have bones stacked on bones for balance. All right, that's all. That's all I'm trying to do. Not for perfection, balance, so that the bones have the greatest amount of support for themselves and an equal distribution of weight. All right, so now I'm going to have this knee back. I'm going to reach this left leg back. Bring that foot down after I opened the hip. And then if I feel stable, I'm going to start to bring this arm up, working the hips forward, finding my breath. Good. Maybe lifting that leg. Now this side is already like, what, Belinda? Now I did lift it a little fast, so I wasn't as mindful. I'm going to restart. Really feel connected and gripped into the earth. Now I'm going to feel the process of 2 inches, 3 inches. Applying myself to being present in all of the micro movements, micro energies, micro adjustments. That's the living. Doing things perfectly or without any instability, man, that's overrated. Right? And release. And we'll bring both hands down. I'm going to tuck the toes, lift the hips up, down dog. So I built all of that heat with all of those sun salutes. And now my mind is going, oh, yeah, Belinda, okay, you're starting to cool down, starting to get in your comfort zone, starting to tell yourself, I did enough. And it's like, nope. Practice. So first I'm just going to stretch out because the body got a little warm, so that was nice. Feeling my shoulders, doing a few shoulder rotations, even in my down dog. Working my hips, my legs. Waking up, because when I tilt the tailbone up and down here, I feel my low abs. I'm going to bring my right hand to my left ankle. I'm going to twist. Checking in with my support system. Wringing out my ribs, letting my neck go. Feeling that left hamstring, even the butt muscle getting a really nice stretch. Who knew that I could stretch a butt muscle? Yay for learning today. Yay for what I got to connect with in my yoga. Thank you, yoga. And then I'm going to bring that right hand down and find the other side and twist. Make sure right now you're not trying to contort yourself in any way that you think that I'm doing. Make sure you're not going past your edges. Make sure that you're also being willing to use a little bravery, a little honesty, a little satya to step to your edge, because maybe you haven't. Do you know? Good. And I'm going to bring both hands down, and I'm going to come down to hands and knees. All right. I'm going to get another one of these cork blocks. If you have two, go ahead and get two. If you have two books that are about the same height, go ahead and get two of those. If you don't, I'll show you a way to do this without the blocks. It just won't be as much fun. All right, so got my blocks. Some of you might already, who have been to the studio quite a bit, might be like, oh man, I don't know where we're going. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to back this up a little bit. that I can see. I'm going to show you frontally that I've got these blocks right here. All right. Now I'm going to turn sideways just so that you can see a little bit better what I mean. I'm going to move the blocks in front of me just a little bit. We're going to keep the tops of the feet down. I'm going to stand strong in my arms, and I'm going to lift my knees. That's all. Okay? So I'm going to show you sideways again, but I'm going to bring these back so that I've got the palms under the shoulder joint. When I was demoing before, my palms were out in front, so I had an uneven distribution of the structure, of the weight in the structure. So I'm bringing this now. Notice I'm not grabbing the block. I'm going to keep my chest up. Here's where we got to resist the urge. I'm going to get in it, right? No. I'm still offering all my energies upward to that, to a spirit that I want to surrender to. Surrendering to something greater than myself. I'm reaching and aspiring upward. And I'm looking at snowflakes out the window. Oh, happy Earth Day. Chest is up. Not letting the shoulders come up by the ears, so chest up, shoulders back. Press and lift the knees up. Breath, breath, breath. Calm, sattva. And lower that down. And lift. And lower that. Same meditative breath that we would do in child's pose, doing down dog, that you would do in mount. Or at least we're practicing it, right? It's a practice, not a perfect. Breath, lift, laugh out loud. Laughing is a huge part of practice, part of forgiving, part of joy. Now ask your arms, they don't have to do it all. Ask your core, pulling those knees up higher. See if your core wants to talk to you. Or is your core like, what? Okay, now, many of you know that I am really a 5-year-old disguised as a 52-year-old woman. So my 5-year-old wants to come out with this fire and have a little bit of fun. So we're going to bring our hands down here. And I'm going to press and bring it back. That was fun. All right, so let's see if we can do that again. I'm going to press, lift, swing, and bring it back. All kinds of core, all kinds of balance and equilibrium. Keep that chest up. Try not to pitch it forward. Laugh out loud. Here we go. Up, swing. Maybe swing a bunch, and swing a bunch, and swing a bunch, and swing a bunch, and bring it down. All right, we still got that heat building, right? All right, this time we're going to see, just for shits and giggles, okay, if we can take the legs through straight. I don't know. I have not done this in a month and a half. I don't know. So we're seeing, what's the capability, the possibility, asana, in my physical body as I connect the intention of my spirit with what this physical body wants to do. Most expansive, authentic self. I'm going to lift, reach, butt, heels. Hey, was that fun? All right, so that was a little bit of heat. How we doing? Hoping you guys are feeling kind of good. Let's wake up these legs. Feeling that heat inside of us. All right, so now I said, okay, if you don't have blocks and you just finished watching like Belinda act like a 5-year-old in a 52-year-old's body, cool. And I said that I'll show you what to do without the blocks. Excuse me. All right. I'm going to bring my legs either to crisscross applesauce, or if it's accessible for you to find your lotus, heel up toward the opposite hip ball. Knee issues and the injuries can be indication here. Hip issues and injuries. So this isn't like perfect yoga dome right here. This is where my knee, my ankle, my hip say yes this morning. All right, I'm going to do a half lotus. I'm going to keep this foot down. Bring the hands here. Still don't pitch my chest forward. I'm going to sit upright and I'm going to apply those arms and I'm going to lift and see how I'm using that right foot to help me lift my butt, cleared it off the earth. Chest is up, smiling and breathing contentment. Santosha. Studying, looking at where's my mind, what are the thoughts, are they true, are they not true, finding an edge. Lower that down. Oh, that nice solid fiery containment that says, oh, I have a strength that I can draw upon and draw upon and draw upon and draw upon. I got to practice it so that the day and the moment that I draw it, that it's going to come forth. And I'm not going to be afraid of it. And I'm not going to say no to it. I'm going to say, hey, let's do this. All right? All right, I'm ready to start to cool a little bit down. Okay. So I'm going to bring the bottoms of my feet together, feeling my hips. We've worked a lot of fire. I'm going to work ranges of movement in some joints for a little balance in my practice this morning. Breath in, lifting my chest, pulling it forward and rolling it up. And taking it forward and rolling it up. And forward, breathing and bringing it up. And now I'm just going to take it forward and hold. I really do love to have some dynamic flow in some spaces before I hold down. So another working a fiery practice, a practice that's having us confront our tapas, our discipline, our devotion, is that heat kind of loosens up anything that's stuck or out of balance inside of us. And so I'm feeling maybe a freer space in some of my joints. Maybe I'm actually able to look at what was stuck. Maybe a negative thought, maybe I had actually started to believe an untruth I was repeating to myself. And it was residing somewhere in my arms or my shoulders or my feet or my legs. And going through that repetitive sequence, that repetitive firing up, let me know, hey, I'm powerful. My engine is strong. Hey, what's up with that untruth I was living in? And remind myself that it's really easy for me to go into the illusion of whatever the falsehood is that's going on in that narrative inside of me. So it behooves me to check in, because otherwise I can go way down a path of an untruth, either about my physical abilities. I can't do that. Or maybe it's about my mental abilities. Like, I've never been able to do that. Or my family, we've always been number people and we're not creative people. You know, what are the truths and untruths that we're repeating to ourselves that are not correct? And how do we use our yoga to help us refocus that lens? All right, so I said I wanted to work out some joints here. I also am aware that I'd like to different postures and different ways of practicing. So I've got my legs wide, but not as wide as they go. I've got my knees bent, my heels are rooted. There's a little point and flex, pick up my feet. Now I'm going to hinge at the hips here. Now I have a lot more space to come down than when I was in the butterfly, okay? So I can feel my belly here, I can feel my back. Seeing how far I can hinge forward. A lot of that's going to depend on the size of our tummies, as well as how much stuff we put in our tummies before class. If you didn't check it out before you started class with me today, go look back on the Facebook timeline and you're going to see something that I posted about how do you practice your practice before you practice. What about that? Riddle me this, Batman. All right, we're going to bring this arm under that knee, this arm under that knee. Now, what you really want to be mindful of is that your knee joint is not directly above your elbow joint. Okay? So you don't want pressure coming downward on that elbow joint. So if you can get your forearms, your upper arm, have that bone, the humerus, be in contact under the knee is great. And just lengthen your chest forward. For many of you, for most of you, this is going to be where you want to stay. And I'm practicing pulling my belly button in the direction of the camera. And I'm feeling that subtle lengthening in my low back. And I'm breathing and I'm calm and I'm still working on my sattva, my space between applying myself and not doing a damn thing, finding that balance. Now, so we're heading into what's called Kurmasana or turtle. I'm going to lift my toes, slide my heels forward, and see where my chest wants to go, where my forehead wants to go. Definitely feeling the backs of my legs. What's the capacity of breath that I have when life puts me in a position that's so unfamiliar and new? Do I lose my breath? Do I lose my ability to focus? Do I lose the truth of who I am? Do I expand and find new layers of the truth of who I am? New layers of breath? New layers of contentment, Santosha. And I'm just going to inch those heels in a bit, lift my chest, ease my arms out of there. Loving that, loving that. All right, I'm going to bring my legs to a crossed position. You can sit on a block if you prefer. Bring my left hand up, patting myself on the back, right hand up to find that left elbow. Sitting up, taking a load off of those shoulders from those planks, from coming through the plank, lowering down from the down dogs. Hearing how much movement this area of my body wants to welcome and invite. Is there room for my spirit to slide into some areas in here, or is it all closed off? Contentment. I'm respecting this shoulder joint. Some of you know I've got a really old injury in this shoulder joint. And so this injury and we have a conversation every day, multiple times a day. Just gonna say, hey, how you doing? What you want? And how I've navigated having some balance and some ability inside of this space. All right, I'm gonna find the other side, just saying hello to these shoulders. Chest is up. Not trying to get anywhere, so I'm not really tugging or pulling with this left hand. I'm just going to let time and reflection and a calm mind greet this space. I won't know what's here if I don't invite the quiet and the stillness. I'm going to let those arms go. Find some shoulder rotations. Changing my direction. Good. I'm going to turn my neck to the left, still focusing on lengthening upward through the back of the neck. And I'm exploring, is it still turning? Can it turn more? Did my mind stop the movement, or did my body? Do I know what's possible? What parts of my spine and in between my shoulder blades do I have to have a navigation with to find a little bit more leverage? Nice. What changed after a few more seconds? I'm going to slowly come to center and find the other side. Depth and simplicity all combined and wrapped into one, growing tall through the back of the neck and exploring, turning my gaze, turning and seeing sideways while still working forward through the front of me. What is my range of being able to turn and see while still heading in the direction I'm going? Am I still able to breathe? Am I still able to grow tall? What are all of my senses telling me? Where's my focus? Where's my meditation or my distraction? Ooh, I just got a whole bunch more space. It just moved. Wow. And I thought I knew what was possible. And how do I invite the wonder and the unknown into my day-to-day? And gently release, coming back to center. I'm going to bring my chin down, bring my hands to the back of my head, tuck my chin into my chest and round my spine. I'm going to press down lightly so that I'm amplifying the stretch in the neck. Trying to soften all of the muscles in my back and in my neck, and just helping it out a little bit with this stretch. Now, what's the fullest breath? Can I invite this tissue to lengthen? I'm going to release the arms and gradually lift it back up. And if I did invite that tissue to lengthen, what am I going to do with it? What am I going to put in it? What am I going to slide in that space in my mind and my intentions? I'm going to use this healthier body as I walk in the world and I treat other people with kindness. How does all of this help connect and yoke for me to live my highest being? All right, I'm going to position myself for lying down as we get ready to cool off. I'm going to come on down onto my back. I'm going to bring my inner thighs together, my feet wide. So we've done some wide hip things. I want to work a little bit of inward. I'm going to let both knees drop over to my left. Notice how I kept the feet wide. And I'm feeling out this stretch. Noticing what's still trying to bind, right? So parts of me that got to fire with all of that fire still wants to be in control. So trying to use my breath and tell my back, my side, my waist, my hips, oh, I don't need you. There's no doing that's required right now. You need to harness it into the non-doing superpower right here. And in the non-doing, I get to confront just how much doing I've been doing. And how is that residing in my being? And as I sit in this stillness and this quietude, what do I get to notice and observe? What's going on just beneath the surface here? I'm going to switch on over and feel the process of the switching. I'm not in a hurry to get anywhere because the process, the journey is where it's at. Ooh, feeling out these hips, this yum, feeling this joy, feeling my back on this side, feeling my spirit saying, oh, I think I trust you right now, that really we've stopped all the doing and we're in the non-doing part. I really needed some non-doing, Belinda. What's your body asking of you? What are you connecting with in a different way? Maybe you're noticing, observing that I do give massage and self-touch in this practice. The way of me awakening in my senses, also delivering loving kindness, building an awareness of my body, all of its folds and the flesh, just the way it is. Santosha. Contentment and acceptance. I'm going to bring those legs back up. I'm going to bring the feet back in. Then I have my legs getting in position for a bridge. Feet are a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart, arms down. Don't turn the gaze, keeping the gaze up, protecting the neck, protect my spine. Press down through the feet, solid, lifting the hips. Try to keep the toes down. Whole surface of the feet are down. Some of you like to wiggle the arms a little closer together, finding a clasp. I like that as well right now. Getting a little bit more leverage, just asking for more support, more support. And what has that support helped me access to open? Offering my power, unimpeded, unhidden, my chest, my love, my heart, unimpeded, uncovered, unguarded, my ability to communicate clearly, openly, in new ways, saying things in new ways, saying things I've never said, and letting that go, lowering the spine down, lengthening my legs out, feeling the release, adjusting my hips and my shoulders, feeling all of my muscles gradually releasing and softening out. Finding the dedication and the contentment to not fidget or mess with another thing.